Level 1. The Recruit. The year is 2026. You are standing in a dusty square in Pyeongchang. You are 17 years old, thin, and always hungry. In North Korea, military service isn't a choice. It is a 10-year sentence. You look at your mother's crying face as the truck engine roars. You think about the life you are leaving behind, a life of farming and small dreams. You step onto the back of the rusted military transport. That was the wrong turn. You have just entered the largest prison in the world without bars. The Korean People's Army is now your mother and father. You arrive at the training camp in the middle of a frozen mountain range. The wind doesn't just blow, it cuts through your thin cotton uniform. Your first meal is a bowl of watery corn porridge with a few grains of salt. You realize that for the next 10 years, hunger will be your constant companion. The officers don't speak to you, they scream. They beat the weakness out of you with wooden sticks. You are forced to memorize the 100-page biography of the great leader. If you miss a single word, you don't eat for 24 hours. You are at the absolute bottom of the hierarchy. You are a Junsa, a private. Your job is to dig trenches in the frozen earth until your fingernails bleed. You are not a soldier yet. You are just a body to be used by the regime. The indoctrination begins, and your soul starts to wither. Level 2. The Grunt. 2 years have passed, and you have survived the initial hell. You are now a Sangub, a senior soldier. You have been sent to the DMZ, the most dangerous border on Earth. Your life consists of standing perfectly still for 12 hours a day. You stare across the wire at the lights of the South. You see the buildings, the cars, and the neon signs. You are told it is a land of hell and beggars. But in your heart, you wonder why their hell looks so bright. Your stomach is permanently shrunk from years of malnutrition. You spend your nights catching grasshoppers and snakes just for protein. The officers steal half of your rations to sell on the black market. You learn the art of living by stealing. You raid the local farms at night to steal potatoes for your squad. If you are caught by the villagers, they beat you. If you are caught by your commander, he executes you. You are a grunt, a disposable shield for the capital. The propaganda is your only entertainment. You listen to the loudspeakers blaring songs of glory while your boots rot off your feet. You realize that your life is worth less than the rifle you carry. You have become a machine of habit. The border is a wall of silence, and you are a brick in it. Level 3. The Squad Leader. You are promoted because you are the most disciplined in your unit. You are now a Hassa, a junior sergeant. You lead a squad of 12 boys who look exactly like you did 3 years ago. You are now the Enforcer. Your job is to ensure that no one in your squad thinks for themselves. You conduct the life purification sessions every evening. You force your soldiers to confess their sins against the party. If one boy mentions he is hungry, you must beat him in front of the others. If you show mercy, the political officers will report you. The guilt starts to eat you, but the fear of the labor camp is stronger. You receive a slightly better ration, sometimes a piece of pork fat once a month. You are now part of the system that is crushing you. You learn the double life. In the day, you are a loyal servant of the Kim family. In the night, you dream of a world where you don't have to hurt people. You realize that power in North Korea is just the ability to avoid pain. You are responsible for the lives of these boys. But you know that if the order comes, you must lead them into a suicide charge. You are the middleman of misery. Level 4. The Lieutenant. 7 years into your service, you are sent to the military university. You graduate as a SOE, a second lieutenant. You are no longer a boy from the village, you are an officer. You are a party loyalist. You are given a silver-plated pistol and a new uniform that actually fits. You move to a garrison near Pyongyang. You see the elite of the country, the people who never go hungry. Your job is to manage the logistics of a mountain bunker. You oversee the storage of chemical weapons and artillery shells. You learn the true scale of the regime's paranoia. The bunker is filled with enough gas to kill millions. You realize that your entire country is a suicide vest. You are given a small apartment and a radio that only plays state news. You are watched by the Bowie-Boo, the secret police, every hour of the day. Even as an officer, you are a prisoner. You start to realize that the great leader doesn't care about your loyalty. He only cares about your fear. You are a small gear in a massive rusted clock. Level 5. The Captain. You have reached your 10th year of service. Most soldiers are discharged now, but you are kept. You are promoted to Dewi, a captain. You are the political warden of a remote training camp. Your job is to ensure that the songbun, the social ranking, is maintained. You decide which soldiers get to visit their families and which are sent to the mines. You take bribes in the form of cigarettes and foreign currency. This is how you survive in a land of scarcity. You have a wife now, a woman chosen for her clean political record. You live in a house with electricity for 4 hours a day. You are a man of status in your district, but you live in constant terror of a purge. A single word from a jealous subordinate can end your life. You have seen your mentors disappear in the middle of the night. You realize that the higher you climb, the harder the fall will be. You are a king of a graveyard. Level 6. The Major. You are now a Sojwa, a major in the strategic force. You are moved to the missile command centers hidden deep in the granite mountains. You are now a secret keeper. You know the launch codes for the medium-range missiles. You see the maps of Seoul, Tokyo, and Washington, D.C. You realize that the regime is prepared to burn the world to stay in power. The isolation is absolute. You are not allowed to speak to anyone outside your unit. Even your wife doesn't know where you work. You are fed the best food, white rice, meat, and even dried fish. But the food tastes like ash because you know it comes from the sweat of slaves. You watch the satellite feeds of the outside world in secret. You see the grain silos of the West and the technology of the South. The gap between the propaganda and the reality is a canyon. You start to lose your mind in the silence of the bunker. You realize that you are guarding a nightmare. You are a ghost in a mountain of steel. Level 7. The Colonel. You are now a Sangjua, a senior colonel. You are the military governor of a northern province near the Chinese border. You are the regional shadow. You control the smuggling routes, the forced labor camps, and the local police. You are incredibly wealthy by North Korean standards. You have a Japanese car, a color TV, and a fridge full of beer. But your wealth is built on the suffering of thousands. You oversee the Kwalaso, the political prison camps. You see the skeletal figures of the prisoners working in the coal mines. You know that if you fail your quotas, you will be in those mines next month. You spend your days signing execution orders for defectors. You have become the very monster you feared as a boy. The wrong turn has led you to a place where your humanity is gone. You are a warlord in a land of beggars. You realize that the regime doesn't want soldiers, it wants executioners. You are the colonel. You are the architect of the province's pain. Level 8. The General. You are invited to Pyongyang for a special ceremony. The great leader himself pins the stars on your shoulder. You are now a Sojang, a major general. You have entered the inner circle. You live in a luxury villa with a high wall and armed guards. You have access to the store number 9, where you can buy Swiss watches and French wine. You attend the grand banquets where the elite drink until they forget the hunger outside. But the banquets are a trap. You watch the great leader's face for any sign of displeasure. If he doesn't smile at you, your career is over. If he smiles too much, the other generals will plot against you. You are a player in a game of Russian roulette. You manage the cyber warfare units and the foreign currency offices. You are a global criminal in a general's uniform. You realize that the entire country is just a bank for one family. And you are the head of security for that bank. You are the general. You are a gold-plated slave. Level 9. The Marshal. You are one of the few who survived the purges of the last decade. You are now a Wansu, a marshal of the army. You sit at the long table next to the great leader. You are the dark architect of the nation's defense. You coordinate the nuclear tests and the submarine launches. You are the one who tells the leader that the army is ready for war. Even though you know the tanks have no fuel and the soldiers are too weak to run, you live in a world of total delusion. Everyone around you is lying. You lie to the leader and the colonels lie to you. The wrong turn has reached its peak. You have all the power in the world, but you can't go for a walk alone. You can't trust your own children. You are a god in a kingdom of dust. You realize that the only way to keep the secret is to keep the world afraid. You are the Marshal. You are the shadow behind the throne. Level 10. The Fallen Idol. 20 years after you stepped on that truck in Pyeongchang, the regime has finally cracked. A coup, a famine, or a war. It doesn't matter how it happened. The statues of the great leader are being pulled down by the mob. The soldiers you once commanded are now hunting you. You are hiding in a cellar in the ruins of Pyongyang. You have a suitcase full of gold bars that are now worthless. You hear the boots of the angry crowd on the floor above you. You look at the silver-plated pistol you were given as a lieutenant. You realize that your entire life was a lie. You weren't protecting a country, you were protecting a cage. The recruit is gone. The general is dead. The wrong turn has reached the dead end. You realize that in North Korea there are no winners. There are only survivors and victims. And today, you are neither. You are just a memory in a land that is finally waking up. The cycle of the KPA ends here. In the silence of the cellar, the darkness remains. The end.